Hi, I'm Katie.
And I'm Koli. Welcome to the SVU Coven podcast, little witch detectives.
Hello.
Hi.
I apologize if you hear any loud noises. They're doing construction outside of my apartment because they hate me. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. It's a very Monday,
Yeah,
but we're back
we're
and that
back.
matters.
Yeah.
Should we just get into things?
Yes.
Okay, so this is our witch talk. It's the corner of the intro of our show where we catch you guys up on what we've been doing. I always laugh because it's a little redundant for us since we talk most of the time, but it's a cool way to connect with you guys. So, as per usual, I didn't think about what I was gonna say for this segment. Um, what have I been up to? So last week we did take the week off just because we were both slammed.
Yeah.
Um, and just busy life stuff going on. But I had some job interviews last week, which I think they went okay, which is exciting. I have more job interviews this week. Um, Over the weekend, I went to see a comedian that I'm a huge fan of. He was playing a hometown show
hmm
that just happened to be like up near my area. And he I think he still does this, but he used to be a rap battler. So he has a very funny like writing history, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
To be playing venues in small town Georgia.
Yeah.
But it was really fun and my boyfriend's a big fan of his and we've like met him a couple of times now, so that was really a fun time. His name is Carter Deems, if anyone wants to check him out. Um, and then this week I get to see, so tomorrow, we're recording this on September 9th, and then tomorrow on the 10th, I get to see 21 Pilots.
Yay.
I'm so excited. I've seen them many times, but it's never not exciting.
Yeah.
Um, and they are playing at the venue where I graduated high school. So it was where I walked for my high school graduation.
Nice.
So I'm always like, ooh, I've been here.
I've
But
never
yeah,
seen them in concert. I liked them. I'd like to go to a concert of theirs, but
they do like it's like a production. Like it is a show. It is a theatrical situation when
yeah.
their concerts. It's not just them on stage. And so I always recommend it because it's like an experience. Um, but yeah, I'm super stoked about that. And then I think that's all that's going on with me at the moment. I have a couple more job interviews this week, so that's exciting.
It is
But
exciting.
that's about all. What's going on with you?
I got my tattoo last week.
Yay. It's so pretty.
Looking thy hard and right.
Mm-hmm.
It's a quote from a Sir Philip Sidney poem. Um, I never remember the name of the poem. Something in Stella.
Yes.
Um, that's I don't remember the first name.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah. So I
Yay.
got my tattoo. I came out to my dad yesterday,
Crazy.
which was it went so much better than I expected. Um, I was expecting him to like completely disown me and never want to talk to me again. And then he said, I love you no matter what.
Hmm.
And I've suspected it for a while now. So he was upset that I was afraid to talk to him about it.
Mm,
But I explained it was because of his political beliefs, which it is, because the man
yeah,
backs Donald Trump. I mean, if you back Donald Trump, don't be surprised when your queer kid doesn't want to come out to you.
right. Um,
Um,
But I'm
This
so proud
week,
of you.
thank you. This week, so we're recording this on the 9th. Tomorrow I have physical therapy, and then
Mhm.
I'm sleeping over my aunt's because on Wednesday morning I have my endoscopy.
Mm,
Um, and then I have Thursday to rest and recuperate from that, and then I have physical therapy on Friday. So it's kind of like yet another busy week, but
yeah. That'll be fun getting to sleep over at your aunt's though.
yeah,
Air conditioning.
yes. I hope they fix their air conditioning.
Mm.
Um, but it's been getting really cold at night, so I don't even necessarily need the air conditioning.
Mm. That's good though.
Yeah.
Ooh. All right. Well,
Okay, that's all for me.
okay. Shall we go to our Mariska corner?
Yes. So there hasn't been many Mariska updates in the past
No.
couple weeks. Um, even like the Google alerts for her have been stuff that have been years old, focusing on her essay and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but there has been some SVU news.
Woo.
Um, so Ice-T posted a video to Instagram of like behind the scenes, and everyone's like, "Oh, where's Mariska? Where's Mariska?" And he shows Mariska, and then he pans over and he shows Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
So Kelly is coming back for a few episodes this season. Um she has got a job in the NYPD intelligence unit. Um spoiler alert for yeah. Um but apparently the NYPD intelligence unit travels internationally. So she'll be traveling internationally, which is gonna leave Sunny at home alone with the three kids. So it's gonna show his single father chops.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, I
I don't
hope
know how many episodes she's gonna be in, but
I hope it's a career direction for her that she likes.
yeah,
Because she deserves that.
yeah. Because last
But
time we saw her, Olivia had said to her she doesn't want SVU to be her safety net. So
yeah.
hopefully, this will be something.
Mm, I both hate and love that because I agree, but I wish that Olivia would just let her come back. Just
Yeah,
for me. Just for me personally.
yeah. But
Um,
this is a good compromise
yeah.
because I don't think Dick Wolf is gonna budge on letting her come back because he made the decision to kick her off in the first place.
Which doesn't even make sense to me.
It doesn't. Um,
Like everyone he could have kicked off.
yeah.
Eh, it's fine.
Um, so I don't think he's gonna budge on that. But this is at least a good compromise. She's gonna be in multiple episodes in the season, and yeah,
Yeah, we're happy about it.
yeah.
Woo!
Oh, so Ice stood up to an anti-woke person on Twitter
I saw some of that.
because he was like the person tweeted him and it's like, is SVU gonna go back to the way it was or is it gonna stay woke? And Ice was like, what even is woke? I don't give a shit.
Yeah. And technically they always have been.
They have been.
They just had some trouble with some language and terminology, but I feel like we're there now.
Yeah.
But I saw some of that in real time because I opened my Twitter app and Ice was like going off on somebody, and I was like,
Uh,
of course. Because he's either posting like really positive, funny stuff or he's yelling at somebody. And there's
yeah.
uh, he's
Um,
sneaky though with that
yeah.
little pan over to Kelly.
Yeah.
This is so sneaky.
And it's funny because I was watching a video of Haley Fest from LA.
Hmm.
I think it was from LA anyway. Yeah, because it wasn't at the New York Paley Fest.
Mm.
Um, he was like, I never spoil anything. And Mariska's like, are you kidding me? You spoil everything, Ice.
She's like, what are you talking about? That's what you do. That's funny.
Yeah.
All right. SVU's back in less than a month now.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
So soon. Um, is that everything for them?
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry I'm sniffling. I've been sniffly for like 3 weeks.
For like life.
Yeah.
So this is our astrological weather report. Um, we're in Virgo season. We've talked about this. We exited Mercury retrograde last time I connected with you guys about this. So the only major important thing really to note right now is we're about to enter eclipse season. But after that Mercury retrograde we just had, this eclipse season will not feel as intense as an eclipse season normally would,
Hmm.
just because that Mercury retrograde was a rough one.
Yes.
Um, so the first eclipse is on September 17th, and then the next one is on October 2nd. And the
Hmm.
biggest thing to know really about uh eclipses is that they trigger fated events. So they if something important is supposed to happen in your life, eclipses kind of make it happen faster. They accelerate the process, good, bad, and indifferent. So something you see a lot of during eclipse season is proposals and weddings and pregnancy announcements and things like that. But then on the flip side, you see divorces and the opposite of all those things, pretty much divorces, breakups, job loss, etc., etc. Um, but the important thing to remember throughout all of these events, if you do experience some that are negative, is that they were always supposed to happen to propel you to where you need to be.
Yeah.
So don't go into eclipse season scared or afraid, because even if something happens that's not, it doesn't go the way you were expecting it to, just know that it's going the way that it's supposed to. Um, and also eclipses are just kind of cool. I mean, the energy is kind of intense and everybody's kind of off their rocker, but it's like a cool thing to experience if you get to see it, or, knowing about it, you can kind of tell that the energy is different, which is always kind of fun. Um,
These are lunar eclipses, right?
yes,
Okay.
I think so. Um, but yeah, so just go into it mindfully. Don't worry too much. And if you're like me and you're waiting on a big event to happen in your life, maybe hope that the eclipses will bring it,
Yeah.
and manifest good eclipse energy. Because I
Like,
need the job.
yes. I ask if they're lunar eclipses because solar eclipses freak me out. Because my
Mm,
biggest fear is the sun going out. So having that period of
I
the
didn't know
sun
that.
blocking, yeah.
Mm,
Having that period of the sun being blocked is just like nerve-wracking for me.
yeah, I get you. Um, but yeah, that's really all that's happening, like major, as far as like September, beginning of October.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, it has officially been 1 year and about a week since Jodi Hildibrandt and Ruby Franke were arrested on child abuse charges. Um, they have been sentenced, but even though they were sentenced to up to 60 years, they will only serve 30 of that because of Utah law, which is ridiculous. Um, but yeah,
It's
that's yeah,
crazy that it's been a year.
yeah,
And that feels like all of that just went down to me.
yeah,
Uh,
it does.
didn't didn't somebody relevant to their case post something on social media about it being a year since it happened?
Yeah, Ruby's oldest son did.
Hmm, that's what it
He
was.
posted a picture on Snapchat that said happy prison anniversary.
Prisonversary. That's what it was. I was like, somebody posted something that was like cheeky, but I don't remember what. I couldn't
Yeah,
remember what it was.
yeah.
Um, yeah. The only thing is, I wish they would serve a longer sentence,
Mhm. Me
but
too.
whatever. 1 year is crazy.
Yeah,
Prisonversary.
yeah.
Oh, well, speaking of crime.
Yeah.
Um,
Trigger warning here for yeah.
yes. Trigger warning here for school shootings and everything that involves. Um, so I just wanted to talk about it since it's kind of relevant to myself, but also because it has made national news across the country. Um, and some people running for vice president have made some interesting comments about it. And so I feel like it's within the SVU Coven wheelhouse to discuss it.
Yeah.
Um, so the other day, there was a high school shooting in Winder, Georgia, which is about 2 hours away from me. So I was safe the whole time, did not even know anything was happening. Koli actually broke the news to me because I had been heads down doing other stuff all day. And Koli was very sweet and texted me to check on me and make sure I was okay. And I was like, what? But essentially, as far as I can tell, the shooting, two teachers passed away and two students. And it was at the hands of another student who was 14 years old. His father had purchased him a gun for his birthday. And so it was his gun I believe registered to him, maybe registered to his dad, but either way, it was like in the kid's possession.
Yeah.
And this morning we found out that his mom had called the school before, like at the beginning of the school day, and had warned them about him bringing the gun to school, I think, or that she thought he was going to do something or something. I'm not 100% sure on the facts, but
Yeah.
so, the state of Georgia has decided to try him as an adult, and they are also charging his father with child endangerment, for purchasing the gun and giving it to him. Um,
I think they're charging him with manslaughter too.
yeah, I've seen a lot of different things, so I'm not 100% sure.
Mhm.
Because I also think they may be charging the mom with something, but I'm not positive.
Yeah.
Uh, so just where I grew up was a lot closer to where the shooting happened. So the high school it happened at, um, I am familiar with. I didn't grow up like next door to the area, but I have been there many times and I have friends that live there and stuff. And so it's one that's close to home. And uh shootings in the Atlanta area are so common that it's not often that the country gets involved.
Mhm.
And so in a way, it's been kind of nice that it's something that we've all come together on, you know?
Yeah.
Um, aside from a couple politicians having some very loud views that aren't helping the situation. Uh, it seems like everybody's come together in a way. And it's been a cool thing to see just from a community perspective, that people care so much. And it's kind of going outside of political affiliation at this
Yeah.
point and becoming more about how do we protect our kids. And I've been seeing,
Finally.
yeah, a lot of posts on Facebook of people I know that I've grown up with, that are posting about it or know people that have been affected. I've seen a couple Facebook posts from teachers that were there that day. And, it's incredibly heartbreaking, but I'm also interested to see how Georgia changes politically
Yeah.
with their stuff from this. So, uh yeah, that's all I know base level about the situation. It's a little intense to dig into, so I
Yeah.
have gotten into the nitty-gritty details, but that did happen over the past week.
Yeah.
About 2 hours away from me. For perspective, for people that don't live here, if you follow football, the UGA, so Georgia, is close to where that high school is. Not too
It's
far.
also worth noting a couple points. One, the dad didn't just give his son any old gun for his birthday. He gave him an AK-47.
Yeah, that's true.
And everyone's saying, "Oh, well, it was because of bullying." This kid was new to the school district. It was his first day in this high school, and he didn't even make it the full day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah. Yeah. And with the knowledge now that his mom called ahead of time,
yeah,
uh, you know. So it's a lot, but everyone I know is safe and okay.
that's
So,
good.
um, doing all right. So, I think that's everything. If there is anything that comes up as far as donating or ways to help, I'll post about that on our Instagram.
Okay.
I haven't seen anything, but I'm sure there's a GoFundMe somewhere, so I will go and find something or other about that. Um, protect our kids.
Yes.
Okay, so switching gears a little bit, um, quick little palette cleanser. We are on social media on Instagram at SVU Coven. We post most of our updates over there, I would say, more than anywhere else. We also have a free Discord server you can join from the link in our Instagram bio. So while you're over there giving us a follow, click that link and you can find all of our stuff. Um, and you can join our free Discord server. I'm really interested in growing our little community there. So I
Yeah.
think that will be fun. We also have merch through Fourth Wall. The proceeds go to Fourth Wall as well as to us, and we put that back into the show. We designed all the merch ourselves, so we're super proud of it, super excited about it. If you buy any of it and are wearing it or drinking out of the coffee mugs, please send us pictures of it. We would love that. You
Or
can
the
tag
wine glass.
in the wine glass. You can tag us on Instagram or you can email us at svucoven@gmail.com. Koli does check the email, so somebody is reading them and we'll get back to you. And she shows them to me so I can see them too.
Yes.
And that's also the best place to reach us if you're interested in running an ad on the show or communicating with us in any kind of business uh, realm, svucoven@gmail.com.
Yes.
Um, yeah, I think
Okay.
that's everything for
Yes.
social media. Okay.
This is your episodic reminder to rate, review, subscribe, like, and comment. Um, Rating, reviewing, and subscribing are the most important things you can do on an audio-only platform. They all tell the algorithm that you like us and will show us to other people. The reviews are important because if someone stumbles upon our podcast and they see positive reviews, they'll be more likely to listen to it.
Mhm.
Um, Subscribing, liking, and commenting are the most important things you can do on YouTube. Again, they tell the algorithm to push us out, and it's engagement. It's all engagement. And the engagement is so important on YouTube.
Mhm.
Um, and you can hang out with Katie in the comments because she's always in the comments.
Yes.
Um, we also have a coffee, so you can go and donate however much you want. It's completely optional, it's not mandatory. And we put all that money back into the show. Um, and we appreciate the energy exchange on all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun.
Should we get into our self-love affirmation?
Let's do it.
So, this week's self-love affirmation is I love my body as it is today.
Hmm.
I actually found that on a website that had self-love affirmations for kids,
Mm,
and I thought that was really good.
I love that.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, if you're not operating heavy machinery, I invite you to close your eyes, take a deep breath, whether you're operating heavy machinery or not, and meditate on that for a couple minutes. Um, and just give yourself a hug today.
Mm. That's cute. I like it.
Me too.
Mm.
Okay, should we get into the episode?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
So, today we are covering season 3, episode 19, Justice.
Woo.
We open on a couple of movers carrying a couch when they find the body of a teenage girl. She's alive. Olivia meets the uni at the hospital. Just as Olivia gets into the trauma room, they start to take her down to surgery. She follows them with swabs. Olivia gets a few of them from the doctors. But then they cross the threshold into the operating rooms, and the doctor stops her, telling her, "You're not going to contaminate my OR." Elliot walks in as she's giving a uni orders to go to the Emmy and the crime lab with swabs and the clothes. Olivia tells Elliot they didn't start a kit, but they but she did manage to get a few swabs between the ER and the OR, but they wash everything away with betadine. Elliot says she didn't make it. Olivia says she got in the way. The doctors were trying to save her life and she was trying to make a caller. Elliot assures her it wasn't her fault and there's nothing anyone could have done. The EMTs pulled off her jacket in the bus and found a Percocet bottle prescribed to Emily Porter in her pocket. Ellie and Olivia go to notify the parents. Um, a teenage girl opens the door and calls for her mom, and then asks Ellie and Olivia if they were there to pay condolences. Her grandmother died last night. The mom comes to the door and in a twist says she's Emily Porter. And then we done.
Done, done.
I realized I didn't put that in the notes, but I remembered where it was, so
It works.
it works. Um, Emily says she doesn't know who the teenage girl they found is. Elliot says her drugs were found on the girl. Emily says she's not taking any drugs. When Elliot produces the pill bottle, Emily said that she had a root canal a couple of weeks prior, but that they made her loopy. When asked how the medication left the premises, everyone looks at Emily's daughter, Heather. Heather explains there's this guy named Doc at the skate park and he'll buy anything you give him. Finn goes to see Doc, and says he needs Vicodin. Doc says he needs a prescription. Finn says he'd have one, and then says something about them carting his partner around in a limo. And just the image of them carting Munch around in a limo was hysterical to me.
Yeah.
When Doc gets confused, Finn shows his shield. Doc gets up to run away, but Finn grabs the back of his coat and pulls him back, and through gritted teeth says, "Get your ass back here."
Mm-hmm.
Um, Finn starts going through Doc's pockets and says if he wants him to stop, he needs to talk about the girl. And he does this after showing him the picture of the victim. He said he didn't know her name, but that she came by this morning buying happy pills. Finn keeps searching his pockets and tells him he needs to cooperate. Doc says he really doesn't know who she is. She stopped by with a hat shielding her eyes, black, shiny, and floppy, and she went across the street to the Royal Arms Motel. And Finn arrests Doc.
Ooh.
Ellie and Olivia go into the Royal Arms looking for info on the girl. At first the guy doesn't recognize the girl, but then Olivia covers the top half of her face and asks if he knows her now. The guy behind the counter says yes. She met a guy in the lobby named Bendover. Room 406 and paid cash. Olivia asks if he's still up there, and the guy says they're a by the hour establishment and that the room hadn't been cleaned since 1972.
Ew.
Yeah.
Yucky.
Ew. Ellie and Olivia search the room, and Elliot finds her hat. Elliot says, not Elliot, Olivia says it's cute, and Elliot says it's also informative, made exclusively for Destination. Elliot and Olivia go to Destination, and Elliot wants to know what the girl was doing shopping there. They're shown the hats, and Elliot asks how much. $7.95. And he says she managed to find the only affordable thing in there, and Olivia corrects him and says that would be $795. And then she winks at the sales girl.
How pretty woman.
Yeah. Ellie and Olivia tried to get her name off the sales receipts, but they hadn't sold any of the hats yet. The store manager says he heard they caught a shoplifter for him, and Elliot says maybe he can return the favor, they just want a name. Olivia finds her picture in the book full of shoplifters, but there's no name. The police report they got from Officer Slater had no name, and the store never heard back.
Well, heck.
Finn goes to talk to Officer Slater, who's getting some sleep in his patrol car. He explains the situation, and Slater says that she wouldn't give her name. He said that if she gave it up, they'll give her a desk appearance ticket. Finn asks if she went for the DAT, and he says yes. Finn wants to know her name. Ellie and Olivia go to the DAT office looking for the DAT on Patricia Stevens. The clerk is being a real jerk and not looking for it. Olivia says, look, lady, the girl's dead, and I'm not gonna let the parents go out of their minds not knowing. And the clerk asks if Patricia's really dead and says, you don't know who she is, do you? She's Judge Thornburg's daughter.
Ah.
Back in the squad room, Elliot asks why she had to be the stepdaughter of a hanging judge, as Olivia is slipping into her jacket. Elliot grabs his jacket, and they go into Cragen's office to tell him where they're going. When they tell him it hit one of their own, Thornburg, Cragen says he knows Walt, they have history, they went to St. John's together, and he runs into him at every function. He didn't even know that he had a daughter, and Olivia says stepdaughter 16. Alex walks in and says so it's true. The news already hit the courthouse grapevine. Her boss is going to want to know where they are every step of the way, and Elliot says they're going to notify the judge and his wife before Channel 5 does. Cragen says he's taken this one. One thing that I don't understand is they were just out. They came
Yeah.
back to the squad room, took their jackets off, then quickly put their jackets back on to tell Kragan that they were going to notify the family.
Why
Why?
didn't they just leave them on? Silly.
Oh, goodness.
Because, like, if you picture it happening in real time, it is literally just them taking the jacket off, going to talk to Kragan, and then putting them back on.
Olivia took her jacket off and then put it right back on because her jacket was already on when they were talking to Kragan.
That's funny.
Kragan tells the judge and his wife, and Walt asks if she was SA'd. Kragan says that they're investigating it as an SA homicide. Walt sends his wife off, um, then says he's past the point of being shocked. Patricia was a problem since she hit puberty. Kragan asks what kind of trouble she was in. When Walt and his wife got together 5 years ago, she went wild. They tried everything and finally had to send her to boarding school. Kragan asks how long she'd been back. 1 year. Her school called that morning saying that she ditched right after roll call, but nothing was done. Ellie and Olivia go to talk to CSU, and he's filling them in on what they found. Her tattoo doesn't match any known gang tattoos. The weapon was a beer bottle. She rolled down the steps head over legs. Elliot asked if the bottle had any pieces big enough for a print, and the text says he brought the same brand, filled it with plaster of Paris, and then he broke the bottle with a hammer. He then took the pieces from the crime scene, and Olivia says there must be 1,000 pieces in there. The tech places one and says 999 more to go, and that he'll let them know if he finds anything. Ellie and Olivia go to St. Monica's Academy, Patricia's school, and they're talking to a nun about Patricia. The nun said her hostility was towards authority figures. The nun also said they suspected she was defiling her body. Elliot asked if she meant the tattoo and piercings. The nun said that, and she was sent to the nurse a couple of months ago with cuts on her arm. Olivia said if she was cutting, it was a cry for help. Ellie and Olivia go to talk to Mary, Trisha's friend. Olivia said they needed to know everything that happened. Mary left her at destination, and she didn't know that Trisha was going to steal the hat. She was furious, so she took off. Olivia asked if she had a boyfriend. Mary said not really, but she had pen pals. Her parents were so strict. She didn't think they'd understand her reaching out to lost souls, so all the letters went to Mary's house. Elliot asks who she was writing to, and Mary says, prisoners. The men she was writing to were murderers. It was the ultimate rebellion.
Murderer.
No matter of fact.
They were murderers.
Yes. It was the ultimate rebellion. Good girls go for bad boys. Kragan says he'll take care of finding out if any of these men were out on parole, as they were all sentenced in the early 90s. What is it, Sing Sing? 3 are at Attica, and 1 just got out a week ago. All of the men Patricia was writing to had Walt Thornburg as their judge. Ellie and Olivia pull up to the Thornburg residence to police activity. Olivia asked what happened. Ayuni says a guy got shot. They took him to the hospital, and they said he's a judge, Thornburg.
Yes.
Olivia brings Mrs. Thornburg,
Thornbug.
her name is Brooke, a coffee, and says Walt is still in surgery. Olivia asks if she can tell her what happened. Brooke says the housekeeper was helping her make lunch. and she had just gotten off the phone with Walt asking if he wanted a sandwich, and not 5 minutes went by before she heard a shot outside the door. Brooke didn't see anyone, but she didn't look. She was focused on Walt. Olivia asked if there was anyone who wanted to kill Walt. Brooke said she was sure there were people he'd sentenced who held a grudge, but they hadn't received any threats. Olivia asked Brooke if she knew that Trisha was writing to prisoners and that they were looking into one of them for her murder, Thomas Gordon. And now we spell break.
Break. Fun.
So this episode is going live Monday, September 16th. The color of the day is silver, and the incense of the day is clary sage. And this is called Rock On. This is Collect Rocks Day, a wonderful opportunity to honor the earth element. Most of the planet consists of stone, although much of it is covered by a comparatively thin layer of water. Before you start, take a moment to thank the earth for her gifts. If you're looking for anything special, meditate on that to improve your chances of finding it. There are many ways to collect rocks. If you live near a rock hound shop or pagan store, you can buy some. Quarry yards are great places to look for larger landscaping stones. If you have a yard, you can walk around and search for interesting pebbles. Near your driveway is a good place. You can even visit rockhound sites where you can pay a small fee to dig for quartz, agate, or other semi-precious stones. When you get home, thank the earth for sharing its stones with you. Clean them up and store them with labels of their type, because different ones have different magical properties. And this is by Elizabeth Barrett.
That's really cute.
Yeah. Okay, back to the episode. Elliot and Finn go to talk to Thomas's parole officer, then to talk to his sister. Turns out he asked for the morning off because he works in his sister's husband's mechanic shop. So he asked for the morning off the day of Trisha's murder so he could get a piece of tail, but he never came back. He didn't even come home that night and took off with his brother-in-law's van, a Ford E150, customized by the brother-in-law. Back at the squad room, Olivia's saying that she has unis on Walton Brook around the clock, and Finn is putting a bolo out on the van. Thomas had no friends and no family other than his sister. Walt was shot with a .380 semi-automatic. Kragen gives orders. Olivia goes to a strip club to ask about Tommy. And let me tell you, Olivia Benson walking into a strip club by herself is hysterical.
Oh, yes.
She just looks so out of place.
Uh-huh.
The woman behind the bar says that prison taught him no manners. The dancer working the pole comes over at the bartender's request, and she sees Olivia, and she says, looks like a cop. The bartender vouches for Olivia and says she wants to talk about Tommy. Apparently, he didn't listen when she said no, then was on her to hook up after her shift. Olivia finds the van they were looking for, and in it, she finds the .380, recently fired. She's waiting for a warrant so she can legally take it. Ellie, Olivia, and Finn go into the bar and arrest Tommy for a parole violation. Ellie and Olivia interrogate Tommy for Patricia's essay and homicide and Thornburg's shooting. Says the shooting wasn't his idea, it was Patricia's. Olivia wants to know why she wrote to him. He says one day a letter from Patricia just showed up in his cell, promising him sex beyond his wildest dreams and anything he needed, the Percocet. And when he got to the motel, he was ready, but suddenly she had a headache, so he seduced her. Then came the catch: kill her stepfather. Kragen says it's bold for Tommy to pin the idea of the shooting on Patricia, but there's no evidence except for her asking for a favor. For argument's sake, let's say she's not lying. Olivia wants to know why she wants him to do it. Cragen says he doesn't know. She was a sick girl. Elliot says he thinks, as far as Cragen's concerned, that the case was closed. Olivia says not for her. She wants to know what made her so sick. Ellie and Olivia go to Trisha's funeral and meet Brooke's sister, Erin. And she's thankful someone is there with Trisha's interests in mind. She doesn't get along with the judge like oil and water. She started acting out when Brooke and Walt started seeing each other, but never went to boarding school. He filled out a PINS form, person in need of supervision, for her, and sent her to Kitty Prison, Westchester Residential Treatment Facility. Finn heads up to Westchester. She was in there for 3 years and never once opened up. Serious trust issues. Westchester suspected sexual abuse based on the usual symptoms, including that she never wanted to talk about the baby. Ellie and Olivia go to talk to Brooke about the baby. Her adopted son, Brian, is just the right age. He's Trisha's. Elliot asked who the father is, and Brooke said Trisha didn't even know. Ellie and Olivia are relaying what they found out to Alex and Cragen. Judge Thornberry is especially hard on child molesters. PDF files. Cragen doesn't want to accept that Walt may be the father of Trisha's baby. Alex says they better be right. Alex goes to Donnelly, who is less than thrilled about having to ask a judge sign a warrant to get Brian's DNA. Alex pleads her case, and Donnelly gets the warrant. Cragen goes to see Walt in the hospital and confronts him. He's Brian's father. He's abused Trisha. He accuses Walt of killing Trisha, and he's waiting on a call from the crime lab. At the crime lab, the tech finds a perfect print on the bottle. Ellie and Olivia go to talk to Brooke about everything. The print is hers. Brooke recounts killing her daughter, and the last thing she says is that Trisha gave her a look like she was the one who betrayed her daughter. And we Dick Wolf.
We Dick Wolf.
Woo! Okay, so while Katie is shuffling her cards, this is your second episodic reminder to rate, review, subscribe, like, and comment. Rate, review, subscribe is important for audio-only platforms. They tell the algorithm that you like us and will push us out to other people. Reviews are helpful for other people who find the podcast and want to know what other people think.
Wow.
Subscribing, liking, and commenting is really important for YouTube. It's all about engagement, and you can hang out with Katie in the comments. And we have a coffee. You can go there and donate however much money you want. It's not mandatory, it's completely optional. And we put all the money back into the show, and we appreciate the energy exchange on all of it.
Yay! So I had a jumper and she fell out face up. Queen of Swords. See how pretty she is?
Yes.
Ugh, I just love the artwork. The butterflies on this are so pretty.
The butterflies, I love the rainbows.
Yeah. So Queen of Swords, while swords tend to have a negative connotation, she represents intelligence, at least to me, idealistic intelligence, good with words, political figures, especially feminine political figures. She represents them to me in that energy. The Queen of Swords is a little bit lonely in that she does tend to put her career ahead of, relationships and things like that. In my deck, at least, the Queen of Swords is a single woman. She may feel heartbroken at times or left out. And so if you guys are feeling any of those things, kind of like a loneliness or a left out feeling, or maybe you're having some FOMO or anything like that, Um, I would just remember we are going into eclipse season, so big changes are coming, and try to use that energy to manifest good, rapid changes.
Yes.
So if you are feeling lonely or you are feeling left out, what are some things you can do to change that or to push yourself outside of your comfort zone a little bit, not to a triggering point, but a little bit to make yourself feel a little bit happier.
Yeah.
Um, Also, something I love about Queen of Swords is she's very good in like leadership positions, very good with her words, whether that's writing or speaking. Um, so in my head, uh this could be also about the upcoming presidential election if you're in the United States.
That's what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm. Um, but in a good way,
Yes.
in a good way. So,
Yes.
um but yeah, all right. So I think that is everything as far as tarot goes. If you guys are still hanging out with us, um, and drop us a follow on Instagram at SVU Coven. We do post our updates there most frequently. We also have a free to join Discord server that is in the link in our Instagram bio. If you're not on Instagram, don't worry, we'll send it to you via email. You can shoot us an email at svucoven@gmail.com. It's also the best place to reach us if you're interested in sponsoring the show or being on the show or running an ad with us, any of that stuff. So feel free to email us at svucoven@gmail.com, even if you just want to say hi. We also have merch through Fourth Wall. The proceeds go to Fourth Wall as well as to us, and we put that back into the show. If you buy any of our merch, we would love to see you with it. So please send us pictures, whether that's email, Instagram, all that good stuff.
Yes.
We appreciate the energy exchange, and if you are still hanging out, drop us a comment with your favorite emoji either in our YouTube comments or our Instagram comments, and we'll know that you came from this episode.
Yes.
Um, and that's our show.
That's our show.
All right, well, I love you so much, and I'll talk to you soon.
I love you too. I'll talk to you soon.
Blessed be.
Blessed be.